Alrighty, Rooski, everybody. Welcome back to the Line Crew Pod. I just gave a nice little 30-second rundown. The looks on you guys' faces in the boxes were really funny because it was like caveman with fire, dude. It was like you guys have never seen this level of production before on a fucking podcast. It was an absolutely gorgeous thing to watch. Guys, how we doing? We're back. Football's back. It's your host, Billy Smokes, a.k.a. Billy Overs, joined by my two normal compatriots and a new face. A new, handsome, gorgeous, bearded face by the name of Reese Frankie. He is a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so he might have to get Baker acted by the end of the show, but hopefully we're going to be able to keep him with us for as long as possible. But, boys, it's almost Friday. How we feeling? How we looking? What's going on, boys? How we doing?
Feeling good.
Oh, we're doing pretty good.
Great.
Yeah?
No.
Wow, that's fucking enlightening, boys, man. That's really encouraging. Jump right the fuck into it. First game of the week is going to be Georgia versus Tennessee. Actually, let's save that game for last, boys. Let's save that game for last. Let's do Clemson versus Notre Dame. Joseph, can you pop the screen on real fast?
Oh, yes, sir, I can.
Real fucking quick. Last time I looked at this, the spread was like what, like 4.5?
3.
Over was 44 or something.
3. Over is 44.
Beautiful. Oh, wait. You're still learning. Hold on. 1 second. There we go. Notre Dame, Clemson. I'm eating a Milano cookie right now.
Where's the game at?
Right there. Go up.
Here we go, folks. I'm sorry, boys. I'm a dummy.
You're good. Clemson versus Notre Dame. Clemson going to South Bend, Indiana. -3.5 in favor of Clemson. Over under is 44. Boys, I don't know how to feel about this game. Notre Dame absolutely dog-walked Syracuse last week. And Clemson, to me, seems a bit overrated. But
Agreed.
But Clemson's D-line, they're going to be able to stop this run from Notre Dame. And that's how Notre Dame moves the ball. So I'm saying clear from this game. I'm definitely not going to pick a side officially. But if I had to, it would gun to my head, Clemson -3.5. Drew Pine, Notre Dame quarterback. Kyle, you and I were watching him last week. He's fucking abysmal, dude.
I can be a better quarterback. I don't even know how to
so
football.
fucking bad. I'm never putting money on him again because they can't run the ball this week. So if I had to pick a side, it'd be Clemson -4.5. Joseph.
Touchdown Jesus, baby. All day. Getting points.
Home dog.
Look at it this way, boys. Wow. I just saw Kyle's comment. That's fucking funny. I'm sorry. All right. Threw me off. ND getting 3.5. I fucking love that. We're in South Bend. Just a game screams rock fight. I'm literally seeing this game, boys, like 16-12 all field goals. Because Clemson's offense sucks. Because all they have is that little white kid who can run the fucking football.
Will Shipley, yeah, he's nasty though. He has some big ass calves too, bro.
Him and John Ross's brother.
In his legs.
Yeah, but dude, besides him and John Ross's brother, name another good person on Clemson.
He's only I can say the quarterback because he sucks.
He sucks ass, and it's like it's gonna be like a 16-12 all field goal game or some shit like that. Like. It's just going to be bad. And I think Clemson will keep it within a field goal. I don't think they win. I mean, Notre Dame will keep it within a field goal. I don't think they win, maybe, but like I wouldn't put any money line. I'm like with Will. I'm not going to bet on this game officially. I might throw it in a freaking little teaser. Hail Mary parlay if I really want to get sloppy.
This game screams teaser to me. This game is definitely a teaser game because it's right on the edge of like where you hate it, but you also kind of want to bet on it. So in those cases, he's that son of a John.
That's what I'm doing.
If you can get a 7-point teaser on this to get it up to 10.5, I mean that's pretty good.
That's what I'm saying. All right, Kyle, what about you, Bubba?
Yeah, I'm gonna take Clemson. Notre Dame's offense is just atrocious. All they do is run. Clemson's defense will stop that. But this is Notre Dame's biggest challenge since OSU, I would say. I mean, Clemson is ranked 4, so I mean they're gonna put up some points. So I will take Clemson at -3, and I'm also gonna take the over too as well.
Wow,
this is one of those games that there's a little bit of hate. Notre Dame would be in the ACC if they didn't have such a huge contract with CBS or NBC or whoever it is. So these two teams do not like each other. It's going to be in some cold weather. I think some points are going to be put up. So, but taking Clemson, at least winning by 3.
So, Kyle, does this scare you at all that there are supposed to be 30-mile-an-hour winds and rain in South Bend, Indiana come game time?
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Does that sway you in your decision at all? That's
why we need a weatherman. That does not sway me in my decision at all because I'm riding the paint. I stick with my gut. It's going to be a really sweaty Saturday. I mean, maybe that's
going to be real sweaty. It's going to be a goddamn sauna in here.
That's a bet I put a unit on instead of 6,
Okay. Reese, new college football guy. Not a big college football guy, if I'm not mistaken. But you know enough to get around.
I know enough. So
okay.
I'm riding with Notre Dame spread plus 3.5. I think that ACC is the most overrated division in football, conference, whatever you want to call it. My Hurricanes, for example, are just like Clemson. We get overrated almost every single season. To be honest, Clemson hasn't really played anybody. Yeah, they played Wake Forest. They won by a touchdown. It was a shootout. You got FSU, who is unranked, but I mean, Jordan Travis, I think his name is. He's a pretty good QB, but at the end of the day, I think Clemson is just that overrated top 7, top 8 team that you get almost every year. That, yeah, they've played some ranked teams, but these teams probably shouldn't even be ranked in general. If you want to tease the over, I could see that happening just because I do
30 miles an hour. No, Reese, but 30-mile-an-hour winds and rain. Like that over
doesn't change anything.
Yeah, it's
that doesn't change anything for you. You need 44.5 points and 30-mile-an-hour winds?
It's college football, dude.
That's a diet hurricane.
It's either gonna be like Joey said, 16-12, or it's gonna be 34-28 or some bullshit score like that out of nowhere. It's one of those games that's big, but it's not big enough to be thought about compared to Tennessee, Georgia. And it's not like Notre Dame is just losing outright. I mean, I bet on Ohio State first game of the year, and I wanted to shoot my brains out because they're barely beating Notre Dame the whole game. I think the Marshall game was a fluke, but I'm
that Stanford loss was bad though. They lost to a
That's what happens with these fringe teams that you don't know whether you want to bet on them or not. They're going to lose a terrible game, and then they're going to win a game that they probably shouldn't win. And I think this is one of those games where they could win because, like I said, I think ACC is completely overrated, and I think Clemson is just a very lucky team this year. They got their ranking because their name, and they really haven't played big name schools like Wake Forest. Who cares?
Wake Forest is good. I love Wake Forest.
Oh, I love them.
I love Wake Forest.
I love Wake.
Right,
Joseph Reese swayed me. I'm going to ride with Riesel and take Notre Dame at home. It's at 7:30. It's going to be a sloppy game. Give me the Irish. Change my pick.
Wow.
Okay.
All right.
Reese swayed me.
So
I mean, all right. So
besides me, all right, fade me. Cool.
Fade Kyle.
Whatever.
We are not pro Kyle this week.
Nope.
That stadium is
I will
be
say
electric too. Whether it's freezing, snowing, they don't care.
Dude, this is their fucking Super Bowl, bro. This is their fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
If they're gonna get up for a game all fucking year, it's gonna be this one. I'm so stupid to have even thought about Clemson in the first place. But I digress, and we move on to the next game. Is gonna be Wake versus North Carolina State. This game is tricky, boys. This game is tricky. Wake is only laying 4. at NC State after getting blown the fucking doors off of by Louisville last week. Boys, I don't know who to take. NC State is still playing with their backup quarterback, and he's not very good at all. But NC State, they just kind of find a way to hang around by playing good defense, especially in these games when they feel like they are more of the hunted and less of, and rather the hunted. So if I had to pick a side, that being said, give me Wake, bounce back game for them. I just don't think NC State will be able to consistently sustain drives with how bad this backup quarterback is playing. Joseph.
Wolfpack. Oh, all day, dude.
You just love home dogs, dude. You're just
not only do I love a home dog, but when you're named the Wolfpack and you're a home dog, I mean, check and balance that in my bank account. Because I'll tell you what, too, NC State's one of those places where wacky shit happens. Like Florida State used to always have seasons die at home at NC State on Thursday nights and shit like that. And this is an 8 p.m. game, Wake Forest, in-state rival. Give me NC State plus points, specifically because I'm going to go back to what I said about the last game. I do not see this game being outside of 3 points. I think NC State makes it a rock fight.
Yeah.
I think Wake Forest got exposed
That's
last
how
week.
they cover. That's how they cover. They don't cover a shootout.
Will, I think you have to let Savetti in.
Savetti's not in.
Oh, he says I can't see you guys.
There he is.
Hey,
there he is. Welcome back from the dead, Brandon.
Hey, the Italian.
I can't hear you guys.
You can't hear us?
Moving.
You can't hear us.
Yeah, you can't hear us?
I see, yeah. Actually,
you can't hear us. Oh, this is great podcasting.
I hear Kyle.
Hello.
Well, can you hear me?
Hello.
Savetti, leave the fucking thing, then come back in.
Anyways, I think NC State keeps it close. I think Wake Forest got exposed last week. Louisville is not good, boys. Louisville's bad. Bad. I think that might be one of the worst losses in terms of how good Wake Forest was going into that game. And so just give me the Wolfpack all day, plus points, whatever you're getting them. Take them, buy points too in a teaser. This is another game I'd love to tease.
No, I agree. Kyle was sleeping. Reese.
No.
Kyle was literally sleeping. He was just fucking sleeping.
No, I was.
You're literally just sleeping.
I was zoned out for a second.
Reese, go ahead.
I think I'm gonna roll with Wake Forest here.
Let's go, Reese. I'm pro Reese.
The only reason so NC State's QB is officially out.
Yeah, she's gone. He's down for the season.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna roll with Wake Forest then. I think, I don't know much about Louisville. Like I said, there's teams that are ranked that lose games that they should not lose, and they win games that they should not win. Mm-hmm. But I personally bet on NC State against Syracuse, and that was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Syracuse, is one of those fringe good teams. Not going to take anything against that, but Wake Forest doesn't look like – I'm looking at their schedule now. It doesn't look like they slow down for almost anybody that they play. NC State does have a pretty solid defense, but I think what's the over-under on that one?
It's like 56 and a half, I want to say.
54.
54.
God.
Okay, that was close.
I don't think NC State will be able to keep up with Wake Forest. I might tease it or might buy a point down to 3 if it's at +4 or it's 3.5. I might do 2.5. Just, to avoid that field goal win, whatever you want to call it. But from the looks of it, it looks like Wake Forest likes to put up a lot of points, and whether or not their defense is good, I don't think a backup quarterback is going to be able to keep up with a high-powered offense.
He's not good. Kyle, go. The one that was just falling asleep.
I mean, you guys have hit every point pretty well.
Were you even paying attention? You were sleeping though, dude.
No. I was listening. No,
That's weird.
I was zonked out for a second.
Your eyes look very closed. So
no,
I was
not
concerned
closed.
about you.
I was. They were not closed. But anyways,
okay.
let Savetti in. Holy shit, my phone is literally typing everything that is being said.
Kyle, what's your pick?
My pick is Wake, okay? I've been riding this team all year. They really haven't been winning when I've been riding them, but I'm going to ride them this week. NC State, like everyone has said, besides Joey, they're not going to compete with Wake. I like Wake -3.
All right.
I got you guys right where I want you. I feel like Herbie
Really
on
feels so
game
good.
day. I feel like Herbie on like game day, like last week, dude. Last week when ND was and Syracuse came up, everyone picked Syracuse, and Herbie got this fucking stupid smile on his face, and Desmond just started laughing, and Stephen A looked at him weird, and he was like, "Dude, ND, I'm not gonna let the whole row be fucking Syracuse." That's how I feel right now. Boys.
Yeah, Herbie loves to
Let
be
it
the
ride.
contrarian too. Herbie loves to be the fucking contrarian. He's always a contrarian. All right, boys. Next are the smaller slate games. Two more of the smaller slate games. We got Florida taking on. Oh fuck! Who do they play again, Joseph?
Texas A&M.
Texas A&M. Goddamn, the spread is 3 flat, boys. I gotta say this. This is a Florida game all fucking day long. Let's go Gators. It's not even a fucking question about it. A&M is dead. They are so fucking dead. Dude, they are fucking dead. Flatlined since they lost to App State. Give me the Gators all fucking day long. They bounce back against a terrible A&M team. Love them. And Billy Napier is also good at covering in this spot as well.
There
Joseph.
All right. So that is in the chat.
Savetti's trying to start a coup against me right now.
So I don't know what's up with Savetti's whole thing, but he's saying Florida gonna lose by 1-0. It's seasonal Gator depression time. Fire Bill, burn it all down. Kamar gone. Cox gone.
No Cox. No more Cox.
All I gotta say though, boys, is loser of this game gets fired.
Yes.
That's all I gotta say.
Agreed.
End of the day.
Agreed.
So, like, I look at it this way. Jimbo loses this game. He has to win out against all almost ranked teams to just make a bowl game when he was supposed to win a national championship potentially this year. Now, Savetti in the Gators.
He's just deflecting, though. He's so upset, dude. Like that. He's just deflecting like he always does.
It's going to be a consensus, and then Savetti's just going to be so
he always deflects
that it's going to be a consensus that everyone's going to take Florida, and he's going to freak the fuck out that we're all going to take Florida.
Dude. He's such a little.
I'm taking the Gators, dude. AR.
I'm taking the Gators in the exact same way. It's
Reese, bring it on home, baby. Who do you like? Bring it on home.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
We got a fucking consensus.
Savetti is
in alligator land, baby. Let me feed him chicken cutlets.
Taking the Gators
off
Let's
himself.
fucking go.
But don't do that. We don't promote that. Anyways.
Promote what? Wait, what'd you say? You might have just said something cancelable. What'd you say?
Savetti's going to off himself because that we all consensus. I just said we don't promote that.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, we don't. We are against suicide. We're not a pro suicide podcast.
Nope. There's a number. There's a number to call. Call it.
We are not a pro suicide podcast.
I don't know what it is, but call it.
I'm trying to think of a natural transition.
After
from
that,
suicide to the next game, but I can't think of one. Joseph,
how about this natural transition?
Natural transition. Hold on, Kyle, shut up. Kyle, shut up.
Natural transition into a coach who is gonna want to kill himself after
Brian
Nick
Kelly.
Saban takes out all of his revenge on the whole fact that Brian Kelly thinks that he's a good football coach.
Yes, that's why I love the Tide -13. It's not even fucking close. LSU was awful against Bama at Baton Rouge, and they're better to the opposite. They're better in Tuscaloosa against Bama, which is kind of counterintuitive. But I love Bama here in the points. I think they fucking steamroll them by 28 points. Reese, to start with you.
I couldn't agree more. I think Bama is pissed off. That loss to Tennessee, and then I don't know who they played last week, but
they had a bye.
Oh, they had a bye last week? Okay.
Yeah,
anyways, I don't think Bryce Young is listening to these critics anymore. I think he's ready to go out there. Yeah, their DBs fucking blow because my boy Hyatt just decided to torch him all day, every night, whatever. But I think it's one of those LSU teams that's just got a name. I think they're a bullshit school
Good way to put it.
that lost everything once Joe Burrow left and basically had nothing before that in a sense. But I'm taking Alabama spread, whatever it is. Easy money.
Kyle, let's go with you. Let's jump around a little bit.
No, Joe, you go.
Okay, I guess Kyle's the host of this podcast now. Joseph, go.
Wait, I'm sorry, boys. I don't even have this over. I'm just flustered by it not being able to see Brandon.
It's actually plus 13 and plus or minus 13 and a half. Good sir.
All right, so I'm taking Bama then, just because I really what the fuck odd sharks.
We're just having some technical difficulties here.
Technical difficulties.
Savetti, give your pick in the chat.
For a full year yet, so it's good. It's fine. We're doing great.
Savetti, give your pick in the chat. Savetti's going to be with us here via chat.
We already have natural transitions, and we already have a countdown. So we're making really good.
Dude, we're making progress right now. We just got to figure out like the logistical.
We just need a production guy. We just need a production guy who doesn't mind fucking sitting here and not making money.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I can't find the Bama game.
Okay. Well, it's minus 13, over under 54.5.
Oh, here it is. Okay, I got it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm a fucking
minus
dummy.
13.5.
All right. I'm giving Bama 13.5, and I'm saying you can even give me more. I think they win by 30. I think Nick Saban has basically told everyone that they're going to lose a scholarship if they don't win out by at least 20 points. It's all style points at this point, in my opinion. And I think this is all also leading up to a Bama rematch with Tennessee or Georgia. And Nick Saban is going to lose another game. So give me that.
Yeah, I like that. All right, boys. Natural transition.
Nope. I haven't said my pick.
Oh, you haven't said your pick? Oh, I'm sorry. No, I thought you were sleeping again. My bad. Go ahead, Kyle.
No, I wasn't sleeping, buddy.
You were sleeping. But go ahead.
The reason why I wanted to go last is because I knew you guys are all gonna take fucking Bama.
You had to wake up.
And I'm gonna fade all the fuck out of you guys, and I'm gonna take LSU because I personally think Brian Kelly has this team under control and everything's going to be fine in Louisiana State University. It's going to be good. Everything's going to be fine there. I personally think this is I think this is the downfall of Bama. I personally think this is it. This is the year. I don't think they're that good. I think LSU is good. I disagree with everything you guys were saying. So, yeah.
Okay, well, I can't wait to dance on Kyle's day for that game. I cannot wait. I can't wait to dance on your fucking grave, dude. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do an Irish jig on your grave. I cannot fucking wait. All right, boys. Next game, best game, last game of the night. Tennessee versus Georgia. The absolute fucking big one. The big daddy. Brad Nessler commentating game of the day. Tennessee versus Georgia. Last time I looked at the line, it was -8. It's still -8 in favor of Georgia. Over under is goddamn 66.5. Boys, holy shit, do I like Georgia in this spot. I'm not going to lie to you. This line is begging you to take Tennessee. Begging you. The number one team is catching 8 points on the road. That tells you how much of a difference Vegas thinks there are in these teams. They're begging you to take Tennessee, so you say, fuck you, Vegas. I'm going to be a sharp, not a square. Take Georgia, and it's that simple. Joseph.
Georgia all day. Georgia, I think Tennessee's fairy tale comes to an end. I think, too, this is by far the best defense Tennessee's going to be up against all season. I think also, when you look at the other teams that Tennessee's played all year that's wowed people, quote unquote, like all of the games that they've won convincingly, they've gone up against pretty decent defenses, but their defenses secondaries have just been awful, and the pass rush has been awful. This is going to be the best pass rush and the best secondary they're going to face all year. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a hostile environment. They played all of their hard games at Neyland Stadium. I think this is where the fairy tale comes to an end. I don't think that means that Tennessee's program is done by any means. I think that they're about to really, really pack it on in the future. But give me Georgia -8.
Great.
And the under.
In the under. Okay, I actually kind of like that. That's sharp. Reese, go ahead.
Oh, this guy's riding the wave, man.
We are rocking with Tennessee spread. I am more than confident that offense. I haven't seen an offense like this since Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. They are completely electric. I think if they can somehow contain Mr. Brock Bowers, I think,
I said,
Yeah.
If they, yeah, I know it's
That's
not
a
an
tough
easy
guy to
task
contain.
because
Yeah.
he's a man amongst kids. But if they can somehow contain him, I think they keep this a close game. I'd even bet the over on this game. I think it could be 70 points easily. Tennessee, you don't even see them huddle. They
Yeah.
get the ball,
No,
they get the first down, boom, they're on the line, they're ready to go. I'm not saying Georgia can't keep up with that because they're clearly a championship team almost every year for the past couple of years. But if you look at their schedule, they haven't played fucking anybody. They played Georgia, they played Florida.
Who they struggle with? Toledo or Kent State or something like that?
Yeah,
Kent State, they won by 17.
Yeah,
but
Kyle had Kent State that week. Remember that?
Yeah, great time to bet Kent State. And then they struggled a little bit against Missouri too.
A little bit. They had to claw and fucking fight their way back for that win, dude.
Exactly.
So, game.
I mean, like I said, for every college game, any given Sunday as well, any team can lose to anybody. And I think it's ridiculous to see a 9-point spread for the number one team against the number two team.
That's why it's weird, though. That doesn't trick you. That doesn't like trigger something in your brain and be like, "There's something wrong here. Let's not fall into the trap." Or you like, who's that confident in Tennessee and Josh Heupel?
I think it's because Vegas. I don't mean to bring up bad memories, but what was Georgia-Michigan spread last year?
7.5.
I think Vegas might be a little worried because of how big this, they thought they made the spread nice last year, but it absolutely got creamed. So they're probably going to make it a little bit more enticing so people bet Tennessee. And I think 9 points is too much for a potential college championship game, just in general. I think Tennessee's coach is extremely smart. It's not easy to beat Alabama. It's not. Saban knows how to get shit done. Hyatt had probably the greatest college game ever. 5
touchdowns for 230 yards and 5 touchdowns or something like that.
That's only on 6 catches too. 5 touchdowns on 6 catches, 14, that's unheard of. But I think that Tennessee offense is just electric, and they might be the fairy tale team that gets destroyed by Georgia, but they have too much confidence right now to just get let down right away. So I think I'm going to roll with good old Rocky Top plus 9, and maybe even throw the over in there.
8, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. The thing is, Joseph and I were talking about this earlier. We were saying that we're going to know what side is the right side by the very first drive of this game. If 100%. Tennessee comes out and scores in the first couple plays against Georgia, we're about to have the greatest college football game potentially on our hands.
Yeah.
I will say, I'll let Kyle pick first, and then I have one more thing to say.
Go for it, Kyle. Go ahead.
I'm going with the dogs. I'm going with the hometown boys where I live right now. We're about an hour and 40 from this game. This game is huge. I wish Will had off work. I personally wish you did not have to work that day.
I do too, brother.
Drive.
I do too.
Just to drive there, just to experience what the fuck. I might even go. Who even knows? It's a game time decision. Anyways, I'm gonna go with the dogs on this one. I just really like Georgia at home. They're gonna have the dog walk. They just got.
Uga's gonna be barking too, bro.
They just got pushed from 1 to 2. They've been 1 basically almost all year. They just got pushed to 2. Kirby's mad. They're posting what they did against Florida last year. Sabetti probably absolutely hates that speech. So do you, Joe. That halftime speech, man. He just knows how to control a locker room. and transform them into a winning team. And he probably did that against Missouri. But yeah, I'm gonna go with the Dogs on this one.
Dogs -8. Joseph, what was the last little caveat before we move on to NFL?
No one has run the ball the way George is about to run the ball on this Tennessee defense.
Yeah.
Fact.
And Tennessee got tested by Florida in the first quarter or so, just because Florida was running it down their gut. Because Montreal, whatever his name is, Montreal Williams, I think, for Florida is actually a pretty decent running back. Florida has a pretty solid running back core. Same with Travis Etienne's little brother.
He's disgusting, by the way. He's gross.
Yeah, but Tennessee struggled against that. And I just got to say, if the first couple drives, you're going to see Georgia test them. And if Georgia succeeds in just running it down their throat 30 times, 40 times, I think it's a wrap. I think Georgia will just have so much possession of the ball that Tennessee just won't have the opportunity to put up 65 points,
I also just think that whoever scores first is going to cover. These two teams' first drives are so fucking important, and whatever happens on the first two drives of the game, we know what's going to happen for the rest of the game.
Yeah.
So I think that's
does it say
telling
what the
right there.
over is on it?
66 and a half. Yeah, Joe?
6.5.
Yeah.
I think I'd throw out the spread for both teams and just hit the over.
That's a lot of
That's
points.
the thing. That's
the thing is, but Georgia can put it on
yes,
them too.
Tennessee did that against Bama, but Georgia is totally Georgia would absolutely womp Bama this year. I'm sorry, Bama is it's the top 5 teams right now, probably top 6. I would throw TCU in there too.
Really?
Over Bama? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
Not USC over you're going TCU over USC.
I didn't see the rankings. I thought TCU was still ahead of USC. Didn't know.
Is Jordan Addison still hurt?
No, he's back. He's back.
Okay. I would with Jordan Addison, who's Caleb Williams' favorite target.
Yeah,
I put down above TCU.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of money on.
I think TCU is a fraudulent program.
I think they do this every single year. They're the Bullfrogs, right? Or the
Horned Frogs, but yeah, that's close. The Horned Toads, but yeah, that's close. TCU, they have a really exciting offense and they have one good wide receiver, but I mean, other than that, they shouldn't have covered last week. They shouldn't have covered last week. They should have actually got beat. West Virginia played the better football, but I mean, TCU just to me they're not the real thing. They're not. I don't know. Well, we can argue with that one all day, but let's move on to the NFL.
Yep.
Okay, so wait 1 second though. Question for you guys. This is actually kind of a natural transition into another natural transition before we move on to the NFL. Let's talk real quick about the CFB playoff. Yeah, let's talk about the CFB playoff rankings. And did you guys think that it was a phony move by them to put Tennessee number 1 for the matchup this week? I've heard a lot of rumblings about that, because if you look at it too, why was Michigan left off over Clemson when neither of them have had exciting victories? And what are you guys' thoughts? Do you guys think that anyone got snubbed? I mean, Bama being over TCU.
Well, personally, I personally think Michigan got snubbed.
Michigan got snubbed hard.
I'm fine with it, because if we win out, we're in. If we win out, we are in no matter fucking what. If, ands, or fucking buts, it doesn't matter who fucking Alabama played, who Georgia played, who Tennessee, doesn't fucking matter. If they took us out and we won out, there will be riots.
They would never do that. They can't. They will never leave out a 12-0.
It won't happen, but there will be fucking riots in the streets. Michigan wins out. I'm fine with them being fine. I'm fine. I'm absolutely fine hanging out at the 5 spot. It doesn't bother me, because if we beat Ohio State, it's fucking over. We're in the playoff.
Because we beat Illinois in the Big Ten championship easily.
Yes.
And then we go to the playoff. Yeah, no, I like that. I don't know. I think they gave Clemson their 4th spot because it's Dabo.
Because it's Clemson. It's the name.
It's Clemson. It's the brand. It's yada, yada, yada. But, I mean, I think they did do Tennessee a massive favor here by giving them the 1 spot. I don't know if – I still think Georgia's the best team in the country.
Yep.
I mean, I do too, but I don't think it really matters that much whether
I don't
Tennessee
either.
was
I don't
one
like.
or
I really
Georgia was one.
the rankings have proven to be bullshit time and time again.
Yeah.
They don't matter until the last week of the season.
Now,
question. Oh, sorry. No, you first, Reese. You first.
Okay.
Because
I was gonna say-
mine leads into a natural transition.
If Tennessee loses this week to Georgia, which you guys are pretty confident about, but if they do they still make the playoffs?
Yes.
No. That's where it gets tough, dude. If Tennessee gets blown out by Georgia,
If they get blown out, no.
If they get blown
If
out,
they
I don't
can't
think
make the
they do.
playoffs. If they can't make the playoffs, then Alabama shouldn't be able to make the playoffs then.
Yeah.
No,
so
if Tennessee loses this game, no, Alabama's not going to make. I personally do not.
Well,
think
Bama's going to be.
Yeah.
Bama will go to the conference championship no matter what because they own their division.
Well, that depends on this game this week, in my personal opinion.
this week and the Ole Miss game.
Bama, you really come on, Ole Miss, dude.
Okay, come on.
Hey.
Well, shit fucking happens. So say what you guys say.
I can see it, dude.
But say I personally think Bama doesn't get in. If they do win, they're not going to win the SEC championship though. They're not the best fucking team in the SEC.
Yeah.
They are not. They are not what they used to be. It's going to be Georgia or Tennessee, and if Tennessee gets whomped and Georgia moves on to the SEC championship, wins it, it's going to be Georgia, Michigan, probably an Ohio State, and a Clemson.
I don't think
so
Clemson.
I see two Big Ten teams over an SEC team.
But the thing is, if Clemson goes undefeated and wins their conference championship,
Ohio
they're not
State
going to be
is
able to
so
leave them
much
out.
better than if you put Ohio State versus Tennessee in a game anywhere, Ohio State's going to whomp them. Sorry.
Well, I think that over is first of all going to be like 85 points.
Exactly, but they're going to whomp them.
That's actually a game I would want to see. That would actually be a great national championship.
That would be a great bowl.
Because
I think right now, if you were to swap Michigan and Clemson, the top four should be in the playoffs right there. I think that should be it. Obviously,
yeah, I think that's what I think. I think the playoff is going to be Georgia, Ohio State. Probably, Bama's going to wiggle their way in there, and then Clemson. Because I think Tennessee does get whomped, and I don't think they end up going to the conference championship. And I think Georgia wins out, and I think Bama wins out as well, and that we're just heading for another classic SEC championship in Atlanta. But that's where I lead.
So this leads me to my last CFB remark and a natural transition. Since we have Bama versus Stanford alums, Pac-12 versus SEC, my one last question for you is, does a one-loss UCLA, Oregon, or I think it's UCLA or Oregon are the last
or USC or
USC. Yes, thank you. Does a one-loss Pac-12 team get in over a Tennessee or Bama with a one-loss, even if they do? So, like, Bama's going to have to win the SEC championship to have a chance because it's going to come down to a two-loss Bama and a one-loss Tennessee if Bama loses the SEC championship, and they have the head-to-head, so they would have to put Tennessee in. But then my thought is that if USC has a Pac-12 championship in hand in an 11-1 season, they're going to put USC in with the Big Ten champion, along with the SEC champion, along with Clemson. That's my Final Four. What are your thoughts?
I feel like that's what they would do. I feel like they would do they would take the Pac-12 winner, they would take the Big Ten winner, they would take the SEC winner, and they would I can personally see that. I feel like that's what they might do. And it would
because one of those teams is going to be one loss.
That should be how it should be because I mean, yes, Tennessee it could be the better team than USC, but that if this was professional sports, it's the top four conferences. They go. Winner from all top conferences go. But
hit us with that natty transitti.
So natural transition with that Pac-12 SEC
enough talk.
Matchup.
We're rambling way
Let's
too
move
long.
into the real matchup. The former Pac-12 SEC alumnuses, Jalen Hurts and Davis Mills, are going up against each other tonight. We got 14 points, boys. That might be the biggest spread in the NFL this season so far. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I like Eagles by a million. I think I like Eagles first half minus 7.5 even more. I think the Eagles absolutely embarrass this team. I think Miles Sanders has 1,000,000 yards rushing in the first half. I think A.J. Brown has 1,000,000 touchdowns in the first half. I think it's Eagles by a gajillion. And if you guys say otherwise, then you guys shouldn't be on a gambling show. Joseph.
I'm literally putting it in right now because I realized I forgot I didn't have it in. Eagles, everything. I'm putting it in parlay for the weekend. I mean, I think so.
Reese Eagles.
Reese, are you Eagles?
Yeah.
Kyle Eagles.
Yep.
Beautiful. All right, next game. Miami versus Chicago. Kyle, this is going to be our fucking misery. It's going to be in Soldier Field. The spread is plus 4.5. Well, minus 4.5 in favor of Miami. Over under is 45.5. Boys, I'm not going to lie to you. This line seems a little bit tricky to me because I'm thinking to myself, why are the Dolphins only laying 4.5 points on the road against a Chicago defense that cannot stop anything right now? I was so tempted to take the Bears plus 5, but I know we're going to get blown out. So just give me the over because I legitimately think Miami's going to score 38 plus points on this awful Chicago defense. I think they're going to score so many fucking points. And I think Chicago is going to be good for at least 2 touchdowns. So I absolutely love the over, but to take a side, I'm never going to bet against the Bears, but to take a side, give me Miami minus 4.5. Reese, let's start with you.
I agree with you. I think it's in Soldier Field, correct?
It is.
Yes.
Okay. I think it'll be total score maybe like 27-17 Dolphins. I don't think they're going to fully blow you guys out. More of just like, from what I've seen a lot recently too, is very scheme heavy. So once you kind of disrupt his scheme, which is literally slant routes to Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle every single
or just like go routes. It's like, hey, Tyreek, be really fast.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, he has maybe hit 2 for touchdowns out of the 15 go routes that he's hit because it's underthrown every single time.
Correct.
I think you guys take the ball out of their hand a lot more than they're going to want, especially with the way that you're using Justin Fields now, which is a lot more running style than garbage routes and whatever you want to call it with Dante Pettis.
Pocket.
Dude, watch your fucking mouth when you speak about Dante Pettis, bro. Watch your fucking mouth.
Anyways, I think you could do Khalil Herbert over rushing yards because I think they're going to use him more than David Montgomery this game. But I think Claypool is actually going to get involved in the running game more than you would expect with these little bullshit go routes and come across the backs. But I think time possession, they might beat you by 5 minutes or so, but I think it's actually going to be within a 10-point game easily, in my opinion.
Okay, so still Miami to cover, though.
I think I'd still take Miami to cover.
All right, word. Joseph.
Yeah, Miami by about 25, dude. The Finns this week showed us too that they're in it to win it this year, getting the Chubb. Not to mention too, I hate to be that guy, Reese, but I disagree with everything you just said about Tua. He's 11-1 in his last 12 starts that he hasn't died on the field, basically. As well as he leads the league in yards completed per attempt. I think it's 8.6 yards per completion. So I mean, he's doing pretty good getting the ball down the field. I mean, William, what just happened? Anything good?
No, I'm gambling on. Right now. I have over Coastal versus App State 63. App State's driving right now.
Guys, side note: this is how you know he's a real. Hey, I'll gladly do it, dude. How you like Justin Fields? How's he doing?
Hold on. Would you, Joe? Here's the question though. Would you let Tua come in your mouth, or is he finishing somewhere else?
No, he's finishing somewhere else, dude. I don't get sloppy like that, bro.
Okay, all right.
All I gotta say, dude.
How do I like him? He's frisky.
Yeah, he's frisky, but like
Risky. It's year 2,
I mean,
bro.
he's not gonna.
He's not a Peyton Manning. I'm sorry. I mean, Peyton Manning, his first year, he went 3-13. Justin Fields' first year, see what he'll do. You know, this is his first full fucking year playing as a starter. See what happens.
That's fair.
You know,
That's fair. I
I think we're seeing what happens though. I'm still not a big fan of it.
If the Bears
Like
if
I'm
the
seeing
Bears
what's
take-
happening right now, and I don't like it at all, dude.
if the Bears take advantage of this offseason, we will be a threat in the North next year.
What gives you hope?
150,000%.
What gives you hope that we do take advantage of that? Because we just gave the team the pick that we pass on their wide receiver for, and then got the guy that they replace him with.
all the while Reese is just like scheming in the back, like yes,
all the while
please,
Reese is
second
like,
round
I'm
pick.
still the one that won this because I have George Pickens and potentially another wide receiver.
No,
Mike
like,
Tomlin turns second round picks into Hall of Famers.
I hate the Claypool trade. I hate it. We have $100 million in cap space, and we have 7 fucking picks next year. Let's just fucking run with it. Claypool, okay, cool. He sucked.
Give me a pick. Give me a pick.
You know
Give
what?
me a pick.
My
It's not the Bears podcast. Give me a pick.
Bears +4 because I don't bet against my team. Yeah.
I will say one more thing.
I'm not going to bet on this game, but if you put a gun against my head and said bet on it, I'd be like, bet Bears +4 because you know what? I love my team. I love my boys. I love my squad. I'll die for my boys, you know?
Who hasn't played in the cold in over a year, basically?
I don't think it's going to – is it cold in Chicago this week?
I just looked at the weather. It's going to be like 65 of a high.
That's not – get the fuck out of here.
That's not cold.
The ball doesn't travel as far in Chicago as it does in sunny Florida, Miami.
Sunday it's going to be 46. It's going to be 46.
Jesus Christ. Next fucking game, LA versus Atlanta. You guys are ridiculous, bro. LA Chargers coming to Atlanta. Chargers laying 3 on the road. Over-under is what, Joseph?
The over-under in this game is 49.5.
49.5.
That's big.
Boys, let me tell you something. I mushed myself. Kyle was witness to this. I mushed myself
so bad.
Harder than I've ever mushed anything in my entire life.
He mushed his mush.
Joseph, I mushed the mush. Joseph, I texted you that Arthur Smith is for the people. What happened directly after that?
They gave up that 65-yard Hail Mary touchdown.
Correct. And I was no longer covering. I was no longer covering. It was quite literally right after. So I mushed every Atlanta Falcons better in the world last week. And I'm not going to do that again. Because you know why? I'm taking the Chargers. I think the Chargers coming off a bye is going to be a really dangerous team. We'll see how healthy they are. But I'm taking the Chargers full game officially. This is my official fucking play. Chargers -3. Absolutely love it. But Chargers money line at -110 is as free as you can possibly get it. Chargers first half. I fucking love that play. Joseph.
I'm getting frisky here.
Falcons.
And I'm going to wait until game day to make this choice. But right now I'm going to ride with the Falcons just because I really like the way Mariota's been playing. Getting points against a Chargers team that's trying to really find themselves after a lot of injuries. Plus, Herbert's still been injured with that rib. He hasn't been 100%, and their defense has been lacking. I kind of like Atlanta to sneaky win. They're one of those teams that, like, they're going to finish, like, 7-10 this year. You're going to be like, fuck, they won 7 games, but, like, they're not good. But, like, they're going to win 7 games this year. Like, I think they're up to something. I like Atlanta +3.
Reese.
I'm riding with you, Joey. I like Atlanta +3 easily. The Chargers are one of my future Super Bowl picks that I completely regret. Mike Williams out, Keenan Allen out, Austin Eckler might not play because he's got an abdomen injury. J.C. Jackson's out for the year. Rashawn Slater's out for the year. I mean, the list just goes on for this team right now. I love Herbert. I love that team. But fucking Staley loves to just gamble with his team, whether it's going to end in a victory or not. I mean, you saw the Browns game. They gave the ball up basically on the 55. Or like the Browns 45. They just needed to gain 10 yards to get a field goal and take the win. Luckily, York missed the field goal for them. But at the end of the day, this Falcons team is a lot more underrated than people give them credit for. Granted, it's because of Mariota. but it looks like Cordell Patterson might play. I'm not 100% on that. And I just don't see the Chargers being able to do too much to them right now. I mean, Josh Palmer's good. He's nothing great. But if Eckler's out and you got Sony Michel and or is Josh Kelly or whoever it is back there, that's going to be a recipe for disaster for that team. And I think Staley's job is actually on the line this year because he goes for wins, but he doesn't do it smartly. It's not like he's going for a 4th and 1 on the Atlanta Falcons 20-yard line. He's doing it at midfield when the game's on the line. He is losing a lot of his credit that he got at the start of his job. But I'm rolling with the Falcons here, +3 or money line, to be honest.
Kyle.
Yeah, well,
Falcons.
If you bet on LA personally, after hearing everything that Reese just spewed knowledge into the world, if you bet that LA, you're a fucking idiot. Atlanta's 3-1 at home this year. They love that the Atlanta crowd at the Falcons Stadium has completely changed from a year or 2 years ago of what I've heard. The fan base just loves them this year. Mariota is just getting the crowd going. Yeah, they lost Ridley, but he didn't do much for them this year. Cordell Patterson.
Well, he can't. He's suspended.
He he is suspended. Yeah, I totally forgot. Anyways, love the Falcons +3, 3-1 at home fucking dogs. We're gonna ride with them. LA's fucking hurt. Yeah, they got Khalil Mack on defense. He's having a fucking awesome year, which breaks my fucking heart. But it's the team's broken. Atlanta +3. Moving on.
All right, Carolina, Cincinnati. Looks like Carolina is going to go up to the land of Skyline Chili, touchdown, Coastal Carolina. Let's fucking go, boys. This over's looking like a snack. Cincinnati versus Carolina. The spread is 7. Cincinnati's lane 7. Over-under is 42.5. Boys, is there a bounce-back game in the air for the Bengals, or are they just trash? Because I love the Bengals first half as well. Minus 3.5. I love it.
No. I think PJ Walker's the freaking truth, dude.
Really, dude.
I think he's going to be one of those guys that in like 10 years, he has like a Chase Daniels type of career where he just becomes like the it backup guy now because like, dude,
that's the greatest job of all time.
Dude, Falcons aren't that bad. And +7, I'm taking the Panthers +7 just because I'm going to feel like an idiot after doing it, I'm pretty sure. But also, like, no Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow's offensive line has not been great. The Panthers still have all their defensive line pieces so far. They haven't traded anyone after – unless I missed something. So
no, they hung on to Brian Burns, so that's like their best. That's their best defensive player. So they hung on.
So I like them +7. I think it might even go up a little bit because the public is going to be high on Bengals. So I would say even if you can get it up to like 8 or 9, and I think if you can tease it in a teaser to like 14, it's a lock.
Riesel.
I might take the Panthers to win outright. I'm definitely taking their spread. I wouldn't even mind the over here, 42.5. That just seems unbelievably low. Panthers are your team that you go into the year thinking they're going to be shit. Even when they win a game, it was a lucky game, whatever. They have barely lost to the Giants, who are 6-2. They beat the Saints, who kind of go on a complete random whatever they want to do.
Yeah, there's so inconsistent. I don't know what the Saints are.
They should have beat the Browns week 1. They beat the Buccaneers a couple weeks ago. I'm not saying the Bucs are fantastic. The Steelers beat them. I was very elated that day. But they're not a bad team. Granted, they just lost Christian McCaffrey, which, whatever. Christian McCaffrey, their whole team's whack. Their defense is pretty low-key. They have good cornerbacks. Their defensive front is fantastic. And Joe Mixon, with that offensive line, can't do shit. You just saw it with the Browns. The Browns didn't even have Denzel Ward, and he couldn't get a pass off because that offensive line can't do a thing. Granted, it's Myles Garrett, but Brian Burns isn't a bad downgrade. But I think I would either take Panthers money line or their spread easily. The Bengals just lost to Woozier for the entire year as well.
Which is also
their
big.
Cornerbacks are kind of shot. I do think it'll be more of a Bengals bounce back game in a sense, but I kind of low key like the Panthers. It took away Christian McCaffrey leaving, took away a very narrow dimension mindset of that entire team and offense.
Okay, Kyle, unmute yourself, dumbass.
Will, you went with Cincinnati, right?
I did.
Yeah, everyone's going with Carolina. Yeah, slamming Carolina +7.
Fuck
I
you
don't
guys.
like the Bengals. Do
Hey,
not
fuck
like
you.
the Bengals.
Hey, fuck you.
Hey, fuck you.
Hey,
no,
fuck
so
you.
anyways, yeah, totally going against Will. You're just hurting yourself, man. Like, you're just not seeing the board well. I just don't think you are. I think you need a rejuve.
Okay, well, speaking of rejuve, how about just take some ayahuasca with the Aaron Rodgers?
You should
Take him -3.5 in this next fucking game. I love the Packers here.
No.
I fucking love the Packers here. I cannot believe I'm saying that, but I love the Packers here. This line secondary is it's like us playing secondary in the NFL. They're that fucking bad. I'm surprised this defensive coordinator for Detroit has not already been fired. Give me Green Bay all fucking day long. This is as free as you can possibly get. Kyle, let's start with you, asshole.
I'm gonna go with Detroit +3.5.
Square.
I don't like Green Bay this year. I just love watching Aaron Rodgers lose, and I know Detroit's not good. They're probably the worst team in the NFC North. But I really want Green Bay to be the worst team this year, so I'm rallying for the boys. I'm rallying for Dan this game.
Reese.
And mushing you.
Okay, Reese.
I'm also going to rock with the Lions +3.5. I think the Lions are one of the, granted they're not winning, but they are one of the best home teams in the NFL right now. That offense, the Packers defense is okay, but once it gets a little bit exposed and the other team gets rocking, they don't stop many people. They should have beaten they should have rocked the socks off the Patriots with Bailey Zappi and Mac Jones. That barely happened. They aren't winning games. They barely beat the Bucs, and this is a divisional game. If you want to tease the over in this game, I have no problem with it. I think the Lions average like 27 or 28 points at home almost every single game, but it's a divisional game. I get 3.5 points. It's not that much, but Packers look like shit. It's every other week. Oh, Romeo Doubs is the guy. Oh, Alan Lazard's the guy. Oh, who's the guy? Nobody's really the guy. Granted, Lions cornerbacks suck, but if they just cover the one main guy, I mean, if you look at last year, they beat the Packers and they had Devontae Adams. Like, their team did not get any better this year at all. And it's not like the Lions just gave up. They're still putting up points against almost every single team. What I do think, though, is the Lions are basically just balling out for 3 quarters and then they just give up so they can tank. But I still like Lions spread here just because it's a divisional game and it's at home.
All right, Joseph, let's start going a little bit more rapid fire, boys. Joseph.
I'm going Packers all day, dude.
Let's ride,
I think
Joseph.
this is where the ayahuasca really starts to kick in.
Agreed. Agreed. All right, boys. A little more rapid fire. Las Vegas versus Jacksonville. Las Vegas taking a long road trip to Jacksonville, Florida. The spread's 1.5. Las Vegas is laying 1.5. Over unders 48 flat. Boys, I love the Raiders here. I don't know why they're favored. Give me the Raiders. They should not be favored over anybody. Give me the Raiders. Joseph.
I'm going Jags all day. I think Trevor Lawrence is starting to figure it out, and I think they just traded for someone big at wide receiver, did they not?
They got Calvin Ridley, but he's not obviously going to be able to play this year.
Yeah.
That's right. Well, still, give me the Jags plus 1.5.
Reese, rapid fire.
Jags plus 1.5. Raiders can't stop the run. They've saved them lives, and I think what is it? Josh McDaniels is going to be either gone after this year or gone middle of the year next year.
Fuck you guys. Kyle.
Jags plus 1.5, taking the homeboys. I thought Las Vegas was that spicy team, but they're not. They're garbage.
So Las Vegas for you is confirmed not spicy.
Not spicy anymore. No.
Okay, got it. All right, boys. Next game, Indianapolis versus New England. Indy go to New England. New England's laying 5 at home, and the over/under is 40.5. Boys, there are 2 simple plays in this game and 2 simple plays only. Bill Belichick against essentially a rookie quarterback. Okay, so that's going to be the -5 and the under. I don't think the Colts will score a single point in this fucking game. I don't see how the Colts are going to be able to generate any semblance of offense in this matchup. So the Pats -5 and the under 40.5 is as free as you could possibly get. Kyle, let's start with you and work our way back up.
Yep, I will agree with you on that. It's night and day. Fucking Bill Belichick against rookie quarterbacks is just a fucking zoo. Take that. It's free money. Next.
Reese.
Yeah, Belichick against essentially rookie QB. It never goes well. I think the Justin Fields game was kind of a fluke, but I think Patriots.
That wasn't a fluke.
That wasn't a fluke. He's actually good. He's actually good. Joseph, give me your pick.
Consensus.
Quay! Oh! Love that, boys. All right, boys. Next fucking game, Buffalo versus New York. Buffalo's no surprise here. I think I love a spread when it hits it. Well, like the number in my head mentally is the number that I'm seeing on the screen. So I like this. My models are have this number as well. Buffalo -11.5. I think this game is an absolute no-brainer. I think Buffalo destroys Zach Wilson. I think Zach Wilson's an absolute pile of dog shit. Buffalo in the points. Reese, to start with you.
I like Buffalo in the points too. I think they won't win by more than 14, though.
They have to cover. That's all that matters. 11.5. That's all that matters.
I think they cover.
Word. Kyle.
Buffalo
Soldier. Joseph.
I'm gonna go with the Bills, but it's gonna be a sweat. 11.
Okay.
Yeah, it will be a sweaty 11.5 for sure.
But when is a nice little sweat and you come out on the other side of that sweat dry? I mean, it feels so goddamn good.
The Jets are good. Don't get me wrong, but they're not good.
They're not good. They're not good.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, boys. If the Jets had anyone else at quarterback and Brees Hall was still healthy,
correct. Yeah, they only need like the most important position in sports to play well. That's all they need. All right, boys. Next game, Minnesota versus Washington. Kirk Cousins coming back to Washington. The spread is 3. Washington's catching 3 points at home. Over under 43.5. Boys, I love this fucking play. This is one of my favorite plays of all week. I'm going to calm. Give me the Commanders. I'm going to calm all over the place. Washington +3. And I even sprinkled the money line. I think Minnesota's a bunch of fucking frauds. This is when they find out Dan Schneider is selling the fucking team. The worst owner in all of sports is selling the team. This is going to be a massive game for the Commanders. Give me them +3. Reese.
Minnesota spread. Easy.
Fuck you.
They're just one of those teams that you hate because it's divisional. But they're actually pretty good, and they just got TJ Hawkinson, which is the one piece that they need for their team.
Then why is this spread only 3 points then?
I don't know. I don't know. That's one of those where it screams.
It's 3 points because it's the NFL, Will.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense, Joseph. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Look at the Bucks-Rams game.
What does that mean, dude?
The
Vegas
Rams
is trying to trick you guys, and you're falling into the fucking trap like a bunch of suckers.
Nah, dude.
It's free money. That's
this game is Vikings all day, dude.
No.
Kirk Cousins, 1 o'clock slot. Revenge game. How you like that? Dude, come on.
Give me the Commanders, bro. Kyle.
I'm gonna calm, man.
I'm gonna fucking calm, dude. Kyle, we can hold hands and calm together, bro.
We're gonna calm together on Sunday, baby.
We're gonna hold hands and calm together. And I'm gonna spit.
I really like this. Okay, so just hear me out now, guys. I'll be quick with it.
Rapid fire. Remember,
Washington is 2-0 against the NFC North right now, and this will make them 3-0 against the NFC North.
Love it.
I think they're going to sweep the NFC North. This is a game that Minnesota does lose.
Correct. Next game, Seattle versus Arizona. Seattle going to Arizona. Another line that makes no fucking sense whatsoever. So I'm not going to fall into the trap. I'm smarter than Vegas, okay? Yep. This week, I'm smarter than Vegas. Give me the Cardinals -2. Why are they favored? The Seahawks are one of the hottest teams in the NFL right now. Why are they fucking favored? Doesn't make any sense. It's not like Arizona's home field is such a fucking daunting fucking environment. Give me the Cardinals all day long. All day long, Joseph.
It's a trap. It's a trap.
It's a trap. It's a trap. It's a trap.
But it's a trap the other way, William. And this is why.
Really?
It is.
The new COD is in its second week now. Kyler Murray is really trying to get all the gold guns. And also, this is a hot take for you here. Geno Smith is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this year.
Touchdown, Chandeliers! Let's fucking go, Coastal! Sorry, Joseph. Go ahead.
Geno Smith and the Seahawks, I think Vegas is actually setting a trap the other way where they want to get as much public money on Arizona as possible. So they're making it look like a treat -2. Like they know something that you don't.
Damn, so they're setting a trap for the trap.
Yes. You're falling
exactly.
into the trap,
so I'm falling into the trap. I'm falling into the So I think
Geno Smith is him.
So I think I'm avoiding the trap, but I'm actually going to fall into the trap right next to the trap, is what you're saying.
Yes, pretty much.
That's how it's such a good trap.
Fuck.
Yep. Geno Smith is him. I'm taking Seattle +2.
Seattle +2, yeah.
Reese?
Seattle all the way, baby.
Will's going to have a really bad record after this week.
It's going to be tough.
Or a really good record.
Or a really good
I might look like a fucking genius. I'm going to look like a fucking genius by the end of this week.
Texans just scored a touchdown.
Fuck me, dude. Are you serious?
Yeah.
I bet the over. Yes. Woohoo.
But yeah, back to Seattle. I think
points.
Spread easily or money line. I think the Cardinals defense is all fraud. They really haven't done anything to impress me this year. And Seattle's defense is actually pretty low key. And their offense is steamrolling. I don't think Arizona can stop the run either.
All right, LA, Tampa Bay.
LA, Tampa Bay. Kyle's hosting the podcast now.
Yeah, I'm hosting the pod now. Spread is at 3. Over under is at 42.5. And yeah.
Great.
Joe,
really
Joe,
good, dude.
You start this one out, Bubba.
Okay, you never do that again.
All right. I'm going Tampa Bay -3. I think now that the divorce is finalized, Tom is about to focus up, and it's like that TikTok trend that was going around. When your girl break up with you, you play the best game of your life. I think all of the Instagram thoughts are going to be out in force for this game in Tom's favor, and I think he shows out.
So you're saying that he's going to see some hot new bimbo with giant tits on Instagram and be like, I'm going to play for her.
Yes.
I'm going to hop in.
I like that.
I'm going to hop in and say someone. Tom Brady.
Yeah, as host, go ahead, dude. It's your show now.
Tom Brady is fucking some broad, and he is distracted, and he sucks this year. It's a trap. This is another fucking trap. Don't fall for it, everybody. Do not fall for it. I'm taking the Rams +3. Why? Why is Brady? Yes, they're at home. Like that
I
stadium.
think you just figured it out right there.
No, it's not why they're favored. I personally think the
You
Rams
just
are
figured it
better
out.
than the
Like you
Bucs.
literally just did the math in your
I
head.
personally
saw
think the
that.
Rams are a better team than the Bucs. Personally think they are. Personally, do.
Okay, Reese.
I'm gonna take the Bucks, but I'm just gonna bet the under.
Fucking
Yeah. Okay, Joseph, go ahead.
I already said it.
Oh, you already said it. Yeah, I'm with Reese. I like the Bucks to cover, but the under to me is looking like an absolute snack. Was it 42.5? It was. I don't see how either offense gets past 17 points. I think both offenses are really bad, and both defenses are willing and able to put up a fight. All right, boys. Last game. Well, second to last game. Second to best game. Tennessee Titans going to Kansas City. Kansas City's laying 12.5 at home. Over under is.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There we go.
Jeez, gotta hold your breath there, Bubba.
45.
45 flat, boys. I think Tennessee is as fraudulent as you can possibly get. Kansas City has been waiting for a comparable team to fucking shove their faces in the dirt. I think this is the game to do that. Give me KC minus 12.5 all fucking day long. Reese, you're shaking your head.
Do we know if Tannehill is playing?
He is a doubtful.
If Tannehill plays, I'd take Titans spread. I think Vrabel is too good, especially on primetime games, to get blown out again like he did to the Bills. That's not his culture at all. They also didn't really establish a running game that night, and I don't really think the Chiefs' running defense is that good, in my opinion. And 10.5 just seems like too much for Vrabel. So I'm going to rock with the Titans if Tannehill plays. If he doesn't, I'm taking Chiefs.
Okay, Joseph?
Give me the Chiefs all day. I don't care what the spread is. As long as it stays underneath 14, I really like them. I mean, you just look at Mahomes, dude. How can you bet against the dude?
At home?
I mean,
yeah, exactly. In
especially too, considering too that if they get into a lead, there's no way that the Titans are going to be able to run the ball effectively down 14 or whatever and be able to break into something like actually make it a game. I think Kansas City just needs one or two stops and we'll cover easily.
Agreed. Kyle, go.
Yeah, it's night and day Kansas City. Patrick Mahomes, he's fucking good. I personally can see Kansas City winning the AFC. Could be a contender of winning the AFC this year. Yeah.
All right, boys. Last game, best game. Baltimore going to the Big Easy. New Orleans is catching 2.5. Baltimore is laying 2.5 over under 48. That's a surprisingly high total. I have not seen that total until now. So because that total is so random and so randomly high, I'm going to take the over on that one. But when it comes to a side, I can't fade New Orleans at home. I don't know what it is. I cannot do that. Give me New Orleans plus 2.5 as the home dog, and I'll see you next week. Kyle, since you disagree so vocally.
I disagree with you. This is Lamar Jackson's pay me year. Like he is going to ball the fuck out. He is going to stomp on teams' throats. Yeah, he might not win the Super Bowl. I mean, he could be a sneaky Super Bowl winner. You place a bet on that right now, you could probably win a lot of money if it does happen. But he's looking to get paid, and I don't think Andy Dalton is going to stand in the way of him getting paid. This man is hungry. He wants his check. He's going to beat teams that he's supposed to beat, and this is a team that he's supposed to beat night and day.
Reese.
I think this is one of those games where the Ravens are down basically the entire game into the fourth quarter, and they might make a miraculous comeback to win by a field goal. But I'm going to take Saints spread. Like you said, they're one of those teams. Like, yeah, at home, you just can't bet against them. It's something about the dome, something about the culture. The Ravens, they're dealing with a lot of injuries. I think Kamara probably has another 7-8 catch game, 30-point fantasy breakout.
Joseph.
So I have a hot take on the Ravens, boys, and I just want you to hear me out because I could not agree more with what Kyle said. I think this is the Lamar Jackson back up the Brinkstruck year. And here's also why I think Kyle is spot on. People haven't been really impressed with Lamar Jackson's season so far, but they might have had the hardest opening schedule in all of football. They've gone Jets, Dolphins, Pats, Bills, Bengals, Giants, Browns, and Bucks. Worst two teams in that are the Browns and the Bucks. Every other team there is almost above, if not above 500, and most of those teams are freaking phenomenal. I look at the rest of their schedule, though, with Saints, Panthers, Jags, Broncos, Steelers, Browns, Falcons, Steelers, and Bengals. They could potentially almost run the table here.
Yeah.
I think they could easily go like, I don't know, maybe like 7-2 on this nine game stretch here. And I think it starts off here. They've won their last two. They're really starting to find their form, and also the defense is really starting to heat up. And I just don't think Jameis, if he is even playing, is he still playing, or is it Dalton?
I think it's Andy Dalton.
Yeah, Andy Dalton doesn't have the sauce, boys. Let's just put it plain and simple. I'm riding with a Lamar -2 all day. I mean, this is the back of the Brinkstruck game.
All right, boys. Card time. I'll go first. If you guys aren't ready, I'm ready to go. Card time.
Oh,
favorite time of the year.
Before you go, I want to read off Savetti's NFL card for the week.
Oh, yes. Go for it. Yes.
So Savetti is doing an interesting card this week, folks. He's taking all the dogs this week except for 4. These are the 4 games that Savetti loves the favorites. He likes the Finns, the Bucks, the Bills, and the Vikings to all cover, and he likes the dogs in every other game. Once again, it's the Finns, Bucks, Bills, and Vikings. So the only 4 favorites he likes. He likes dogs and everyone else. And that is Savetti's picks for the week for the NFL.
I don't hate that. All right, boys. Going back to CFB real fast. Kansas +2 and money line versus Oklahoma State at home this week. Lance Leipold is 22-7 against the spread at home against conference foes. Texas -2.5. James Madison +7 playing Louisville. Louisville coming off that biggest win in school history. Fade the Cardinals after that game. James Madison, I fucking love them. And then UF +3.5. Absolutely love that game. No. Billy Napier is 11-3 against the spread. And that also includes a 2-0 record this year, 4-0 overall against SEC opponents. And then for NFL picks, I gave them out already, but I can give them out just one more time. It was Bears versus Fins over 45.5. I'm going to calm my pants so fucking hard. Commanders +3.5, and I might even sprinkle that money line. Raiders -1.5 and Cards -2, and the under in the Buccaneers LA Rams game. Kyle, go Card.
My card, it's going over to college. I got UGA -8, under 66.5. Of course, got to go with my boys, Michigan -26. Also going to take the over in that game. I personally think they can put 45 points up on Rutgers themselves. Florida +3 and the money line for them to win out on that game at +145. Just give me free money. Eagles. Well, no, we're going to go back to my parlay for college football. My overs parlay for college football, I got Syracuse Pitt over 48, Texas K-State over 54, and Notre Dame Clemson over 44. Going over to the NFL, I got the wheel parlay. That comes out on Sunday mornings, so can't bet that until Sundays. Whatever that is, it's over or under on all the games. Then we got Eagles, Houston over 45. Lions +3.5, Panthers +7, and the Commanders +3.5.
All right, Reese, I doubt you have a card memorized. So how about you just give us your best bet of the week?
I have 5 NFL.
Or if you have 5 picks, yeah, go for it. I didn't know how you were set up over there. If you have 5 picks, go for it.
I got Pat's money line. I think I'm confident in their spread, but it's one of those games where it could just be a 13-10.
Correct.
Barn burner game.
Correct.
I like the Dolphins spread. Falcons money line. I like the Panthers +7. I like their money line as well, but I feel very confident in +7. And then Jaguars money line at +105. Those will be my 5 bets of the week.
Okay, I like that. Joseph, to round us all out.
Yes, sir. All right. So my college picks of the week, I'm going to hammer Kansas State this week against Texas. I really like Kansas State. I also really like Georgia, as we've already mentioned, and Bama. And I'd like to parlay all 3 of those together. I think that's a solid parlay for the week for college football. And then moving on to the NFL, I am going to go with something that's near and dear to my heart that I've texted William about a little bit. And this is the first time I'll be introducing it onto the pod. It's called the Make Work Fun Again parlay. It's where I bet every single 1 p.m. game, because I work at 1 o'clock every single Sunday, and I watch the games, and I hope that maybe one day I'll win so much money off of these parlays that I'll never have to work again. So this week, boys, we got, for the 1 p.m. games, I'm going to go Dolphins, and these are all money line, by the way. I do not bet lines when it comes to the 1 p.m. Make Work Fun Again parlays. So all money lines here. We're going Dolphins money line, Bills money line, Falcons money line, Chargers money line, Bengals money line, Packers money line, Pats money line, Vikings money line, Jags money line, and that is the Make Work Fun Again. Once again, that's Jags money line, Vikings money line, Pats, Lions, Bengals, Chargers, Bills, and Dolphins. And that usually runs about plus 1,500 with just money lines.
Goddamn.
So I usually run at about 5 to win $250.
Okay, I love that. All right, boys, thank you so much for hopping on, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Really appreciate it. Everyone, good luck. Go Blue. Go Gators. I'd say go Steelers, but they're on a bye this week, and they
are on a bye week this week.
They still might need to lose that.
And can I also say, since we're all alumnuses and went, go GCU Eagles, who start off the season this week against USC.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Eagles. They have a new coach this year, apparently. So we are either going to be really bad or semi-decent.
Or mid. Yeah, we could just be mid. Who knows?
Yeah.
Could just be mid. All right, guys. Good luck. Thanks for tuning in. Go Blue.
Peace.
Hey, boys.